Hello YouTubers, today I'm going to show off our hammock setups.
Now, when I decided on how I wanted my hammock to be, I went with some slightly different choices than Mike. For instance, I went with a single wide hammock, you know, the standard width from Dutchware, and I went with a different suspension system than him. Primary thing is I went with a standard loop material similar to his, except I have my whoopee sling tied directly to it, and down to the bottom beneath the bag I have a little hook here. So putting this on is quite easy, and the reason I went with this type of system was because I figured that it would be quicker and easier to set up because there's less moving parts, less things to fumble with, and when you hike into an area and you get there a little late and it's dark, it's nothing worse than setting up a hammock in the dark. So it's more simple to set up, and quicker the setup, the better off you are. Another difference that I went with is I went with the lighter hammock quilt and top quilt options, where he went with the Econo line. One other thing that I went with is a different ridgeline hanger. I got my ridgeline hanger from Hammock Gear, where he got his from Dutchware. And the reason I went with this one was, it's one thing, it has some nice little separate pockets. It's a little more rugged because it actually has a piece of fabric in it versus just being a net. And because it's Velcro, I can take it off the ridgeline easily and basically keep everything in it and just unhook it and throw it in my pack. So I don't have to pull everything out, you know, each time I set or take down the hammock. But that's basically it, the primary differences, you know, between my hammock and his hammock. One other design choice that I did is when I had my tarp ordered, I had line lock 3s put on the the ends of the mount points instead of the beastie rings that it comes standard. And what this allows me to do is have a second point of tightening and loosening, and it kind of simplifies things. For example, on the end over here, I have it here. I can tighten and loosen, and I have it going to some Allen loops, which just go around the tree, and setting up is quick. I just throw it around, loop it, tighten, and adjust on either on the hammock end.
Another thing that he got on his is the knotty mod, and we've pretty much determined that it solves a problem that isn't really a problem. So if he decided if he orders another one ever, he won't do that mod again. When I was getting the suspension for mine, I went with the Dutch clips. I wish I'd gotten the sewn in, but he was out. Dutch wear was out of them at the time when I ordered mine, so I didn't do that. I also went with the Marlin spike hitch, and I'm using that to attach to my whoopee sling. I like the extra adjustability that gives me over the way Trinity's is set up. And from the whoopee sling, I'm going with the Dutch beaners. And from there I got the continuous loops on the hammock. I went with the wide hammock because I like the width of the double nest that I had previously been using. And I didn't do the knotty mods, and like I mentioned with him, it doesn't really solve a problem that I was having. And of course, I regret not doing the mod that he did with his line locks, and I just went with the standard clips. That's one thing I wish I had done. If I do it over again, I'll do that. And another thing, the difference between my hammock setup and Trinity's is I went with the Hammock Gear Economy line for my underquilt and top quilt, because the small amount of difference in the weight I couldn't justify with the extra cost in it. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please click the like button. If you'd like to see more, click subscribe. Please also consider supporting us on Patreon so that we can continue to make more of these videos. And you can also join us on our Discord server. The links will be in the description below.